Hoda announced that she was quitting the Today Show months ago, and she left finally in January. Now, her stated reason was that she's 60 years old. She is a single mother of two young adopted daughters, ages 6 and 8, and she has finally realized the important things in life, namely that time with your young children is fleeting and it's unrecoverable. And so she was stepping out of the spotlight to be a great mom. Now, let's talk the real reason, okay? This is our real talk about fake people. The real reason I suspect is that Hoda was facing a major salary cut by NBC execs to a paycheck that was not reflective of her skill set, which again, I find very limited. At best, it's limited. Now, reports vary, but Hoda Kotb was either pulling in $7 to $8 million a year or as much as $20 million a year. A figure I frankly find hard to believe, but those are the reports. And finally, someone at NBC got the smelling salts under their nose and was like, what are we paying this moron for? Like, why are we giving her this amount of money? She's reading from a teleprompter and she's talking to like B-list celebrities about self-actualizing. So a pay cut was coming. She was told this was imminent and she left reportedly. Now, I knew in my bones that this absence from the culture would not last. Because where else is a basic bitch like Hoda Kotb going to get the regular dopamine hits, the regular shots to the arteries that she got on the Today Show, where she was mingling with celebrities and getting her professional hair and makeup done and having tourists lose their shit outside the glass walls of the Today Show at the mere glimpse of the great Hoda Kotb. Okay, school runs in suburbia were never going to cut it. Okay, so now 4 months later, she's back. She's back already. Back on the Today Show set, back on the fourth hour of Today with her pal Jenna, she's on the cover of People. We'll get to that. Okay, what does she have to offer us? What could have incited this sudden, I mean, I don't think since Tom Brady we've seen a quicker, exit from retirement. So Hoda's back with an app. An app. Now, she tells us that this is not just any app, okay? Because we're not doing Today Show and People Magazine if it's just some regular janky app, okay? So she's back doing her little media tour, and she went back to the Today Show where everybody's like, oh, we're all friends, chummy, chummy, kissy, kissy. Trust me, it is a snake pit. A snake pit. And there are no antidotes for the venom that comes out of the people who inhabit these shows. Okay. And it was great to see some of Hoda's, she's marketing joy. Okay. And we're going to get to it. But, the bitterness seeped through. She couldn't hide it. And I love this. I love this for her. Now, her app, her Joy 101 app, this is what she called it, which is like, it's as basic as she is. Joy 101. Joy 101. Okay. Now, this is content that is quote unquote curated. This is the word she uses on the art on the homepage for her app. And that word is always a tell for me. It's always a huge red flag because that's a word that dumb people use to make themselves sound smart. Okay. Instead of just saying it's collected, or even you want to be a little fancy, say aggregated, but no, curated. Now we're like an art world person. We're very rarefied. We're curating things. Okay. So Hoda's curating this shit for you. Okay. And if you buy that, so this is snake oil. This is snake oil. And she is now slotted herself firmly into a world that we at The Nerve are dedicated to destroying. Okay. It's my own personal Death Star, this stuff. And I'm taking it down, and you're all going to take it down with me. So, okay. This is her premise. She ostensibly leaves morning television to focus on her small children, one of whom she tells us in this little media tour has type 1 diabetes. And I don't know this family, but I doubt that child wants that out into the world. Okay. I doubt that child wants to enter every future classroom or sporting event or gym class with everybody freaking knowing that she's got type 1 diabetes. Okay. And the thing that Hoda's telling us is that diagnosis really just shook her to her core. That diagnosis really reoriented her priorities, so much so that she's building a business from the ground up. Remind you of anybody out west in Montecito? We'll get there. Don't worry. So let's take a look at Hoda on the Today Show mothership with Savannah Guthrie. These two are giving each other an epic tongue bath. It's like over the Mensa level conversations they claim to have been having with each other on the regular. Watch this.
That we had daily that I miss, like, to my core, were such a building block for what I'm building now. Because it's find out what you love. That's really what I've been seeking too.
What the fuck does that mean? I'm serious. What the actual fuck is she talking about? What? Give me a specific, anything. Give me a tiny tether to hang my intellectual hat on. She can't fucking do it, but it gets better. It gets better, okay? And again, as stated, these are not nice people. I have it on good authority from multiple sources that they're complete bitches. They're complete bitches. And you have to really, is it that surprising that Hoda off screen would be kind of a miserable person? No, because it's always the people who are telling you how happy they are and how joyful they are and successful and self-actualized they are. It's always the opposite with these people. Again, it's my Buddha rule. You see a Buddha in someone's front yard, run, okay? So then they air this pre-produced package. You guys are going to die. You're going to die. It looks like it was shot in Hoda's home, which has a lot of white furniture, which is, again, highly suspect. You have small children and you have white furniture. It's a fun home for kids, okay? But my favorite tell that we will see is that she has bookshelves without books, okay? Bookshelves without books. I am sorry, but I refuse to take any kind of advice from someone who doesn't read books. It's like John Waters had that great advice years ago. He said, if you go home with somebody and you see they don't have books in their house, leave. Wise advice. Okay. So listen to Hoda talk about having what I consider truly an outsized reaction in a breath work class.
In the middle of this breathing class, I exploded into tears. And I literally freaked out, but I also felt clarity and calm and energy. Like I felt clear.
Do you know what other cult uses the word clear? And trust me, Hoda wants to be your cult leader. She wants your adoration and she wants your money and she wants you in her freaking pyramid scheme. I think it's a pyramid scheme, just my opinion, okay? Scientology, they love the word clear, going clear, okay? Now, if you are having that kind of a reaction in a breathwork class, which is something rich people with way too much time on their hands and way too much disposable income will do, they'll go take a breathwork class. If you're bursting into tears, something is deeply wrong with you. Something is deeply amiss. Okay, you should be seeking professional help, not telling people to listen to your bullshit, okay? And by the way, her crew fucking hates her, and you could tell because look at how they shot her. Look at how they let her appear in that promo reel with no makeup. The lighting is shitty. The angle is terrible. She looks like she's like 90 years old. They fucking hate her, okay? Moving on. Here's a bit of the so-called wisdom that she feels compelled to impart to us. Listen.
When you quiet the noise around, you can think and you can hear yourself.
Wow, when it's quiet, you can think. It's Seneca, It's fucking Aristotle over here, okay? Okay, next, she's discovered meditation. And I quote, this is Hoda, I thought people who meditated just had free time. They do, you fucking idiot. Next, she says, I became a seeker. I'm someone who is looking. The wave I'm riding right now is magical for me. The narcissism. I wonder how her kids feel about this wave. I really do. Because there's nothing like having your mother publicly proclaim for months on end on national television that she needs to go home and spend time with you because you're the priorities. And she gets home and within, let's be generous, 16 weeks, she's like, I'm fucking bored. Just my opinion. You kids are boring me. This is not for me. Like, go hang out with a nanny. We never hear about the help, but okay. So next up, she's going to talk about this very contradiction, for someone like Hoda who might say, I'm too cynical. I should cut her some slack. Listen to her explanation for this.
I mean, now my kids are like, get it. But I don't care because I get to bear witness to their life.
What the fuck do you mean you get to bear witness to their life? You're their parent. That's like called parenting. Okay. Bearing witness. Again, all these fancy terms, like they don't mean anything. They're spoken by fake people. Fake people talk like this. It's fake people who talk like this. Okay. And by the way, the Today Show has always in the past several years, really, it's real. It is really a hate watch for me. I watch it because I need to know this stuff and report back to you and send up the flares when we're in an emergency situation, as we are right now. But the Today Show cast, to me, it's like, do you know that band, the Arcade Fire? There's like 80 members of the Arcade Fire. I could never figure out how they made any money. The Today Show is like the Arcade Fire. They have like 5 hosts sitting on the set interviewing like one C-list actor you've never heard of, or one bullshit like gift guide expert, or like one financial expert, and the advice is always incredibly insulting. It's like, you know what you should do? You should pay off your credit card bills in full at the end of every month. You should do that. You know what else is a good idea? You should have a 401k. That's the kind of advice they're like dishing out over there. Okay. So yeah, I think Hoda really absorbed a lot of like intellectual proprietary knowledge that's worth going to her website for. Okay. So then off she went to the 4th hour of the Today Show. Now, she used to host this Today Show with the 4th hour with the equally insufferable Jenna Bush Hager, who is also a Nepo baby. Okay. She's the granddaughter of George Bush, and then she is the daughter of H.W. Do I have that right? George W. Sorry, it's H.W. and George W. Okay, whatever. Now, Hoda used to be the big cheese, and Jenna was like the baby who came in, and Hoda ran the show. And you knew the status because Hoda would walk out and she would be on the right and Jenna would be on her left. And it was Hoda who would announce like, hey, everybody, today is like Friday, May 30th. And, we're talking today about this. And then Hoda would take the right chair and Hoda would lead off the discussion. And how the tables have turned. The indignities that Hoda has had to swallow in promoting her Joy 101 app. So Jenna walks out on the right and she's got Hoda on the left and she's clasping her by the shoulder so tightly. Like, you would think that it was like Hamas leading a hostage out to the Red Cross. Jenna's making sure that Hoda's not going to make a break for it and try to upstage her. This is Jenna's fucking show now. Get it, Hoda? So they walk out to the table and Jenna's the one saying today's date and today, whatever. And they sit down and then Hoda couldn't help herself, okay? She had a remark about not being seated in the right fucking chair. Okay, watch this.
This is your seat now?
I moved over. I can't remember why, but I did.
Still.
Okay, so I'm telling you, it's joy all over the place, right? It's joy. We're not noticing like the tiny things. We're not noticing things about status. We're not noticing that like, you're just a guest now. You're just shilling your shit like any other huckster. No, Okay. So now People magazine. Okay, she's on the cover here. Her 2 small kids. Again, I do not think children this small should be up for public consumption. If I'm in America's living room every weekday, nobody's seeing my kids. It's not happening, okay? But, here we are. It's a whole exclamation point, new exclamation point, Hoda exclamation point. Oh my God. She's 60 and she has yet another fucking incarnation. Trust me, okay? This is the same as the old Hoda because there's nobody in there. There's nobody home. Nobody's in there. She's still talking the same gibberish that she was always talking with Jenna Bush Hager about finding your authentic self and taking up space, which was the name of her podcast, by the way. I don't even know if she is that garbage anymore. And just leaning into shit like as she ever was. Okay, there's no specifics ever to be found in this garbage language. It's just a bunch of self-help platitudes, okay? And, again, not for nothing, but if she was really so happy, if she really had this secret to a happy life, she wouldn't be seeking out the nearest television camera with the force of a heat-seeking missile, okay? She'd be hanging out with those kids in anonymity, or she'd just be writing a book. Write a book while they're at school, see them in the morning, see them do a podcast from your house, while they're at school. But no. We have to be a media mogul. Okay. Let's keep going because again, It is our collective mission, the troublemakers, to destroy this stuff that is so, so toxic. It's so unfair because it's aimed it's aimed at men too, but they are really speaking the lingua franca of women, okay? And it's aimed at women who are struggling, whether it's financially or professionally or emotionally. And Hoda is incredibly privileged, but she never talks about all the help that she has, the vast riches that allow her to sit around for months on end, the nannies, the gardeners, the housekeepers, the private cars and drivers, all of which I'm sure she has. So she's out there shilling the shit to the average woman at the cost of $16.99 per month or $99 annually. And what do you get for that? I'm going to show you. I'm going to fucking show you. Watch this.
But it feels like right now you're living in a truth that feels so illuminating.
Yes.
Talk about what that is.
First of all, how could she even talk about what that is? Because I don't even know what that question is. I don't know what the fuck that question is. You're living in a truth that feels so illuminating. This living in truth shit, or a truth, or my truth, or your truth. There's a truth, okay? There's a truth. We're not living in fucking Rashomon. There's a truth, okay? And if you're just living your life and being a decent person, that's the answer. That's it. It's that simple. Be a decent person. Try not to hurt people, okay? Anyway, moving on. We've got more to say. This brain trust is going to continue. Let's go.
A lot of things kind of came to light, and I think it comes when you reach a point in your life where you're like, where am I going to fix my gaze? Where is my energy and my love going to flow to in this moment? And you know that I wanted to spend more time with my kids, and there are many reasons for that. We want to catch all the moments. We don't want to miss anything.
Okay. So again, she's talking about I'm sparing you. It goes on and on because there's a lot of verbosity to cover up the lack of actual thought or actual genuine emotion, because she's lying to you. I'm telling you right now, just my opinion. She's full of shit. She's talking about having this eureka moment about why she needs to leave the Today Show. I mean, again, it's morning television. One of the greatest insults ever leveled against Barbara Walters, the late Barbara Walters, was that the most dangerous place on planet Earth was between Barbara Walters and a television camera. And I'm telling you, it's the same for fucking Hoda Kotb, okay? She's talking about having this eureka moment when her daughter was hospitalized, this little kid, and how Hoda, not her kid, but Hoda, found the bravery, the valiance to not put all of her worry on this sick child. But she's going to talk all about it on television again. Okay, great. Nice mothering. I think it's great. Just my opinion. Tell me if this makes any sense to you, because I don't think I'm missing a trick here. And I don't think you guys are either. And I truly wonder where this woman got her seed money. What venture capitalist listens to this utter banality of a trite excuse for a human being and said, you know what, I'd love to shove millions of dollars into this. I would sooner burn it than give it to Hoda. Okay, I would. Now we're going to take a look at her homepage for this great new endeavor, Joy 101. Okay. Let's look at it's called Welcome to the Universe of Joy. The universe. Okay. So in her intro on this webpage, she's taking us on her journey, because everything's a fucking journey. I maintain and will till I go to my grave that the only journey any of us take is from point A to point B. Okay. This word, I blame Bachelor Nation. Moving on. So Hoda says, quote, and I quote, okay, because it's all very valuable utterances. So here I am in my 60s. I'm stepping into this incredible chapter. Again, the verbiage, I'm stepping into this incredible chapter. We're always stepping. There's always a chapter. I don't know how you can step into a chapter. It feels like a mixed metaphor to me, but what do I know? And I feel so incredibly joyful, and it feels great. Again, we're just repeating ourselves. We're just, we're happy, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I feel so incredibly joyful, and it feels great. And here we are again, looking at just, a casual Hoda. There's no professional hair and makeup. There's professional hair and makeup. There's professional lighting. And she's just talking about, reaching this she's entering this new chapter. And it's an interesting choice of words, because again, look at those bookshelves. There's not a book to be found on those bookshelves. Okay. Don't speak of chapters if you don't read chapter books. I don't think you do. I don't think you do. Okay. Finally, we're going to let Hoda have the last word, and then I'm gonna we'll move on to more frankly just engaging stuff like the Diddy trial. Okay, let's look at this.
But I realized like there's something here. So I was thinking like, where could I put all this stuff together?
Yes.
And share it.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, let's make something. Let's make something. And we called it Joy 101.
I'm obsessed with it.
Joy101.com. Joy 101, the app. It's so weird. It's like, but we've been talking about it and talking about it.
And working on it.
And working really hard. And to be able to work from your home.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, it's simple. Because I was like, this stuff's so woo-woo, I don't want to go near it.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, I was like, no, it's not. Like, it's just like it gives you clarity and energy.
It's prayer, too.
Yes.
It's meditation.
Yes.
It's all of the things. It's help with sleep. It's all the things we know.
Sleep. Nobody's sleeping.
I know.
Here's the truth. Everybody's exhausted.
Yes.
Everybody is tired. Everybody wants a break.
Yeah, Hoda, everybody would like a break from you. You told us you were leaving. Please take your fucking joy. Take your fucking breath work and your meditation and your prayer and your Joy 101. I can't believe it. She sounds like a simpleton. She sounds like those kids in class you just feel sorry for. Like they're never going to get it, you know? Like just take it all, take your bullshit and leave, okay? Oh, and by the way, Hoda also announced on this little tour of 30 Rock, she's not getting the Kelly. She didn't say I'm not getting it. Okay, she said I'm not going to be taking over the Kelly Clarkson show, which is like a monster hit. Okay. She said she's not going to be taking that over when Kelly leaves, despite all these weird, random, sudden reports that NBC was just dying. You know, they were thinking, could we possibly get Hoda Kotb to do it? Like, and I just kept reading these and I'm like, this source is fucking Hoda Kotb. Nobody misses this woman. Okay. But, again, just my opinion. I don't know. But anyway, so Hoda, she's not getting it. She's not getting it. She's not getting that. So now we're doing our little fucking app and like, good luck with that. Like if you don't spend your money on this stuff, okay, I want it to tank because this stuff needs to, again, be eradicated from the culture. She's a huckster and she's a loser.